Hello, my name is Hasani, and in this video I will be explaining to you why Mandarin Chinese is such a difficult language for a native English speaker to learn. And I will also try to motivate you for whoever is out there and they feel that Mandarin Chinese is too difficult or they can't grasp Mandarin Chinese. I will show you why you're having the problem with that you are, and I'll try to help you grasp what you don't understand. So let's go. Now, the first thing I want to cover in Mandarin Chinese is tone. This is probably the most talked about and problematic aspect of Chinese itself. More than writing the characters, more than reading, more than writing, it's probably the most difficult part of learning Mandarin Chinese. The reason for this being that most languages that are difficult for non-English speakers to learn have different aspects that English doesn't have. And tone happens to be the hard aspect which English does not have in its repertoire of arsenal. As I will give you an example. A tone is basically the pitch in which you say a word. A tone is the difference between saying hi and saying hi. In English, there's not really much of a difference as far as going into more complex things or, things like that. But in Chinese, there's a very big difference in the way you say something. It can completely change the meaning of a sentence. Now, for an example, I will give you the word in Chinese, ma. M-A. Ma. Easy enough, right? Ma. Now, ma can have 4 different meanings depending on which tone it's set in. This can be very difficult for a non-native Mandarin Chinese speaker to grasp, because sometimes it's almost impossible to think that there would be a difference between saying ma and ma. Most non-native Chinese speakers have a problem grasping this technique. And the fact that Chinese people do speak at a very rapid pace does not help at all, which makes it more difficult to be able to interpret and understand exactly what you want to know. Now, if you say in Chinese, ma, ma, and that's with a falling tone, ma. Ma by itself means to curse. Now, if you say ma with a going down and then going back up, ma, ma means horse. And if you just say ma, ma is a question particle in which you put at the end of a sentence to propose a question. But then, if you say ma, ma means mother. So you see where it can get a little difficult, right? Chinese is the type of language in which it takes a very long time to be able to master learning Chinese. And the reason for this being, if you were to say in English, how are you? It's not much different from saying, how are you? But in Chinese, if you were to use the word, let's say perhaps per se you use the word ni. Ni means you. Now, ni